Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the pinnacle of domination, Kyle Charles.
And the reflection of perfection, CY Tongue. Now, where did you get yours from? Where's your one from?
It was Ezekiel Jackson's theme song. That's what it was called, Pinnacle of
Right.
Domination.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know where mine's from?
where?
I think Mark Jindrak was the reflection of perfection at one point.
See, two wrestlers. Well, one's obscure now. One's doing good in Mexico, I think. Yeah, and this is a new show we're trying out. A new segment we're trying out called Entertainment Roundup, where we're going to talk about particular things that happen in the window of when we record this.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, and new little things,
Like, anything that's significant or that we've seen during this period of time.
Yeah.
Anything that we want to discuss.
Yeah.
But, more like what's going on currently rather than some random stuff we do whenever.
Yeah.
Some news today. Not today necessarily, but around this time was WWE have banned the good old thigh slap.
Yeah.
Now, just for the uninitiated, the thigh slap is what you do when you kind of
want to make
impact sound.
Yeah.
So once you launch a kick to someone's face, you slap your own thigh for the impact sound effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, generally speaking, people do these with super kicks.
Yeah.
Sometimes bicycle knees as well.
Yeah. Big boot.
Yeah. Well, okay. So some of the big boots I've seen is the person taking it slaps his own thigh, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And some punches sometimes people slap their thighs, which does that awkward thing where you swing your other arm, like you're swinging the punching arm in a massive arc, but then your thigh slapping arm is just like locked against your torso.
Yeah.
For the thigh slap, it's an awkward one.
It's weird.
Yeah, we kind of were taught when we were wrestling, slap the opposing thigh.
Yeah.
So don't slap the thigh that you're kicking with, because people can see that because they're looking at the foot, right? If you're going to slap the other leg that's planted to the ground because they're not so focused on that one.
No.
But generally speaking, my trainers were like, thigh slaps. You don't want to kick someone in the back and do a thigh slap because that's a bit
makes sense.
There have been wrestlers who, not like actual professionals, they do chops and slap their thighs. I'm like,
I've seen that.
When you chop the meat off someone's chest, you are getting that.
Yeah, you're getting that sound anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense. But as far as kind of the news goes, I think they were saying someone on one of the more recent SmackDowns did a blatant thigh slap for something, and they're like, "That's it. That's enough. We're not gonna."
Stupid now.
Yeah. So I think it works for super kicks as long as you're slapping the other leg. Bicycle knees, I suppose, because when you are swinging that knee up, you are swinging. The hand motion is going down, so it's kind of more natural.
Yeah.
But when you're just doing an unnatural motion, so you can slap your thigh, I can get the point of this is.
It ruins the illusion of.
Yeah.
You get talking out of it like, okay, I can blatantly see that didn't connect, but you're making a sound.
There's people that do they clap their own hands when they're doing drop kicks.
Yeah.
Another one I don't want to say necessarily it's the shotgun drop kicks, but it's not the one where they jump and land on their sides or something like that. It's when they jump up, do like a front drop kick as they're falling back, they clap their hands. It's like, but you're gonna get the impact sound when you hit the mat.
Yeah,
it makes that sound anyways.
Yeah,
it's like the good old stomp punch.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite. Wow, it's But like personally, I don't understand why they didn't just sort of ban this ages ago. Cause
I think no, for some moves it works. Some moves it don't work, and if it looks too obvious, then it's. But then again, I think what the problem is because loads of people have done it, and the people who aren't to a certain level started doing it more blatantly because they were not experienced enough to hide it.
Yeah.
Then kind of just had the rippling effect down the line, and the people stopped bothering to hide it.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, I get that. Do you know who did it? And they was like, "Okay, we're cancelling it now," or they've only like released that.
No, I don't. No, they just was like, "Oh, it's been banned now."
No.
And then people are speculating there was some recent episode, something happened, and then that was the line in the sand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. R.I.P. Thigh slap.
I know. I think certain people. Well, first of all, that's just WWE.
Yeah.
So the Young Bucks, they're going to be safe.
Oh yeah, they are because I watched Revolution and we'll get.
Actually, okay. Do you want to move on to that then?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got nothing, if there's no more any incidents of thigh slapping that you want to bring up, because I think that's about it for the thigh slaps.
Nah, because like you say, some people can do it and it looks like you wouldn't notice they're doing it, but sometimes you get the obvious where.
Now, not to disparage the Young Bucks because they're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, I think they in the middle of a match. Sometimes you're doing the thing and you can't. You kind of heave the moment, slap your thigh.
Yeah.
And you kind of not that you can't hide it, but the way that you coordinate is sometimes a bit awkward.
Sometimes it's the cameraman's fault as well.
Yeah, exactly. There have been times. But though I will say, and I'm not sure if we're going to get onto it, but it'd be extra funny if the Young Bucks just started doing blatant thigh slaps on purpose after the WWE ban.
They probably will.
No, but like during the Revolution show, just to needle them.
Yeah. But like in this show, there was a lot of super kicks, not just by them.
Okay.
Like,
but a lot of thigh slapping super kicks, or obvious or not obvious thigh slapping.
A bit of both.
Okay, go on. Hit me with the show. First of all, how much did you pay for it?
I paid £20.
All right, because they don't have a network or anything like that.
No, you got to pay for it through Fight Network.
Oh, okay.
Was it Fight? Yeah, Fight. You get it through that. They used to have it on ITV box office, but they don't do it anymore, which is a lot easier to do.
All right. Okay, give me your opinion of the overall show, and then you can do a couple of significant matches, I guess.
The overall show was great. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
There wasn't really a bad match on the card, and that's not me being a shill or anything. Yeah, it was pretty good. The end of the show was a bit, depending who you talk to, was a botch, but an intentional botch. Yeah.
All right, I read about this, but go through the because don't jump right to the end because I think there's stuff that you have to get to that point.
Yeah.
So give me some of the matches that left a mark in your mind, beginning to end style, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
You don't have to go through all of them. I'm just saying.
Nah, I'll give someone will just give the results. That's about it.
Yeah.
So first there was the buy-in. So that's their pre-show. It was a women's tag team match, and it was Thunder Rosa and Rio versus Britt Baker, and it was meant to be Rebby, but she's injured, so they got in Maki Ito.
Wait, legit injured or storyline injured?
I don't really know because she gets involved in a match. I'm like, if you're injured, you shouldn't really be jumping into a ring. But okay, whatever.
All right,
cool. Yeah. So she was replaced by Maki Ito, the world's cutest wrestler. That's her gimmick. Yeah, because her backstory is she was in a girl band but they kicked her out because she was too ugly. So she embraced wrestling, and she sings to the ring these really weird songs, and then she starts flipping everyone the bird. It's hilarious.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's weird, but it works. It's so weird. Yeah. So yeah.
But just to be clear,
yeah,
she's not actually an ugly woman.
No, far from it. That's why I think that's the funny part about it.
Oh, so is it that her gimmick is that the rest of the band was mean girls to her and started calling her ugly, even though she's not?
I think
and then they kicked her out, or is it that she's supposedly in universe actually ugly?
No,
or does she have these Kane style mental problems where she believes she's ugly?
I think it's that, or she aged out, so they called the like
okay.
With
when you have little kids that call
yeah, they age them out and they're like, oh, you're 17 now, you're too old, when you're not. But
okay.
Yeah, so that's her gimmick. It's a good match. The heels went over of Maki Ito and Britt Baker with some shenanigans, and then so then the proper card started. The first match was Jericho and MJF versus the Young Bucks for the tag team titles.
Yep.
It was a good match. It wasn't one of the best Young Buck matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this because I read about Matt Jackson took a baseball bat to the body somewhere?
Yeah.
And then he kicked out.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Was there no break in between the point where he got hit?
No. Literally, he got hit. It's like, on the ropes. And then MJF, he put him through the ropes. And then, he does that heat seeker where it's like a springboard pile driver of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he done that and he kicked out. You're like, oh, that. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Like, story-wise, I get why.
Not to criticize, but basically, they kind of nullified the baseball bat shot and a pile driver at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I get story-wise why he kicked out, but you're also, like, I don't even like using this word, but you're sort of...
Well, no, let's put it this way. They've been doing that to the flip pile driver.
Yeah.
Like using it as a near fall move. That move looks like it should finish people.
Yeah.
So, it happens. Well, look, in a world where a flip pile driver can't put you down, but a fireman's carry slam can.
Yeah. It's bizarro world. Yeah. So MJF gets pinned with the Melch driver and Young Bucks retain. Good match, it is what it is. And then you get...
So a good match, but you would have personally preferred not to have the high impact moves being like a rope break or a pin break or something to like pull the referee out, something like that, but not just like out of those things.
Like if Jericho if like Nick Jackson interrupted, then I'd be like, okay, cool, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no.
Alright. Cool,
and then next was the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale, which was like the Royal Rumble but with tag teams, literally.
Yeah.
This was a really good match. I enjoyed this. There's lots of funny shenanigans and little bits that set up stories for other characters. Yeah. Death Triangle of Pac or Park, how you want to say it. And
it depends on how English you are or how American you are, right?
And Phoenix won with Phoenix eliminated Jungle Boy, so they get a tag team title shot this Wednesday. Well, Wednesday of this recording, a tag team title shot on Dynamite.
So what was odd, kind of to me, like when I was reading about this match, was that if you are eliminated but your partner isn't, your tag team is still alive.
Yeah.
So I suppose it does make sense that you would have to eliminate both partners.
Yeah.
But it just is a bit odd then, kind of how I know one partner could just be lounging about for ages, hiding underneath the ring or something like that, and then I don't want to say they have to be a bit more stakes, but I mean they had to do it the way they do it. It does kind of make sense. But you would have thought, I know, because it's kind of messy to do it the other way. If one partner gets eliminated, both guys go.
They've tried that. I think WWE did that, and I watched it. I was like, this makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Because say your partner gets thrown out on the other side of the ring and you don't notice. This is how it happened. And the referee to the person, no, you will get out now. And they're like, okay, what?
Yeah, true. Actually, no. Probably thinking about it, the way they did it was kind of the neatest way to do it without having to explain extra rules or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But that's how Pac, who got eliminated, managed to win.
Yeah. Because Ray Phoenix was still in.
Yeah.
And even there's a spot where even the referees on the outside got confused. Because he threw Jungle Boy out through the second rope.
Yeah.
And then he did one of his insane suicide dives. Where he literally went through the second rope and literally threw Jungle Boy and into the crowd.
Okay.
And then he's about to get in the ring. The referee stopped him like, no, you went over. I was like, no, I went through the second rope. They all both looked at each other like, yeah, he did. He went back in. I was like, okay. Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Phoenix, you're great. And then after that, we had we had the women's title match. We had Shida versus Makazama.
Yep.
Good match.
Yep.
Can't really say much about it. I liked it, but it's me giving a short example of it is going to give it justice. So I would say it's a really good match. If you can, watch it.
Yep.
The end was weird because Shida wins, and then Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero come out and start just like beating up everyone. So then after that, Maki Ito and Britt Baker come out and help him start beating up Shida and the other lady. And then Thunder Rosa comes out, who's amazing, comes out, and then they all run away. So very weird. And then next we had Miro and the best man Miro and Superbad Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I thought it was going to be quite a boring nothing match, but before the match even started, there's like a interview with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, and then Miro just comes out and just like murders both of them.
Ha! Well, let me just point out before you saying that.
Yeah.
These four guys are kind of, I want to say necessarily known for comedy.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, you weren't looking forward to match in a particular way, at least you would have known it would be entertaining and funny.
Yeah.
If they got to do the things that you expect them to do at the very least.
Yeah, it was just, he literally comes out, murders like both of them, and Chuck Taylor's bleeding, and he goes, I told you, Chuck, we could have been friends, but you took the piss out of me and all this. He goes, you see what we could have had? And Chuck's like, no, we're still fighting, ring the bell. So then Miro's music plays, he throws Chuck into the ring. And then for the first basically half of the match, it's just Chuck by himself getting beaten up by Kip Sabian and Miro. Yeah. And then Orange Cassidy finally wakes up from getting put through a carrier case.
Hold on. Let's just say, but that's also Orange Cassidy's gimmick is that he's a lazy bastard. Yeah. So he could have just been sleep on purpose.
Yeah.
And he finally decided to wake up from his nap even.
He just come, and then the match sort of gets even again. Then there's a weird spot where Chuck's going to Irish whip Miro. Miro reverses it, but then Chuck reverses it again. And he sort of goes into Penelope Ford. So she flies off, hits the barrier, and Kip's like, oh no, I gotta go see to my girlfriend. And then Miro's like, no, you gotta win. So then he makes Kip roll in the ring, tags him, then he puts Chuck Taylor in the Game Over, formerly known as the Accolade, and he taps out, so they win. So there's some weird, you can see they're planting the seeds for Miro and Kip to break up, because Miro's not playing games anymore because that's his gimmick.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay match. And then we had Matt Hardy versus Hangman Adam Page called the Big Money match. So the winner wins the loser's first pay of 2021. Yeah,
right.
It was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird match. It was a decent match. Probably Matt Hardy's best wrestling match in AEW.
Yeah.
Bit of a brawl all over the arena. They get back in the ring.
Yeah.
Moves after move after move. And then Private Party comes out to try and help Matt Hardy win. And then Adam Page's mates, Dark Order come and help him. Yeah. And he wins. So Matt Hardy has to give Adam Page all of his earnings for the first quarter of 2021. So yeah.
All right.
It was a decent match.
All right.
And then we had the face of the Revolution ladder match. Yeah. Where you got to climb the ladder to grab the brass ring. See, they just blamed the metaphor there. And the winner gets a TNT title shot the Wednesday of recording on Dynamite.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it's a decent match. It had Cody, Pentagon, Scorpio Sky, the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, Matt Caster from The Acclaimed. Don't know who they are. They're a tag team, obviously.
Yep.
And they had a 6-man who you didn't know who it was until the day, and that was All Ego Ethan Page, formerly of formerly of Impact.
Yep.
In his first match. It was a decent ladder match. It's not exciting. This is going to sound weird. It didn't pay at all in comparison to any WWE ladder match.
Right.
Yeah. It was okay. Yeah. Which I thought, okay, this is AEW. It's going to be amazing. But yeah. Maybe I've seen too many ladder matches, so my expectations were too high.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, gimmick matches back in the day, when you watch it, they're tamer.
Yeah.
But back then, at the time, they were very innovative. Yeah. It's just that things that start getting more and more, extreme.
Yeah.
So when you watch older matches, like, they're just doing this and that, and it's more, I don't want to say psychology based, but then it becomes more stunt based. So like you say, you kind of, I don't want to say the audience taste adjusts, but it's more, the matches get more higher stakes.
Yeah.
But less, I mean, I don't want to say it's less about storytelling, but just like, okay, here's going to be a big moment, but then, it's more damaging to the people's body.
Yeah.
That are doing it. So you're like, oh, cringe it.
Yeah, but this one, even compared to modern day WWE ladder matches, wasn't. Yeah. It felt a lot tamer and not as exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, because it wasn't not to be that guy say I love the huge spots and all that, but there wasn't much spots in this. The only sort of thing that there was 3 things that were sort of stuck out.
Yeah.
Pentagon giving Cody a destroyer on a ladder that was between the ring and the guardrails outside.
Okay.
That was about it. And then Ethan Page giving Lance Archer a Razor's Edge, but it wasn't onto a ladder or anything.
All right.
Yeah. It's only because how big Lance Archer is. So, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, there wasn't really much destruction.
Okay.
Yeah. And Scorpio Sky won, so that was good. That was kind of the good thing about it, because he's got a new attitude now. So he's turned heel slightly. And then the second greatest thing that's happened this year happened.
Yep.
Up until this point, Paul White formerly known as the Big Show, has joined AEW
with a T-shirt saying "No more BS."
Yeah,
no more Big Show, right?
Yep. So he's been teasing that he's signed someone to AEW who is a Hall of Fame worthy opponent, and they can outwork everyone. So internet being internet was like, does this mean it's Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle or Batista? No, it wouldn't be any of those. But it's someone better than them. I'm going to say it. It was the instant classic Christian Cage, formerly known as Christian in WWE.
Yep. Also known as the Canadian Rage, right?
Yeah.
The Canadian Rage Christian Cage.
The best.
Did he come out to his TNA music?
Yeah. Because that's how I kind of knew straight away. I was like, I know this song because I used to play it all the time. I was like, Christian. Even with the countdown.
To be fair, he probably didn't come out to the exact TNA music, just like they sampled. I mean, because it's an Evanescence song, so they just probably clipped a certain segment and used the sample intro bit and then made their own version of the song. Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, Christian. It makes sense because, if he went back to WWE, he's going to get treated like Edges.
Yeah.
If he goes to AEW, where they respect work rate more, not saying that Christian is a better worker than Edge, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's like good on him going there because I like he's there, Matt Hardy's there, and in WWE you got Edge and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then we had something that I say you should look out to watch. The Team Taz versus Darby Allin and Sting street fight.
Just before because now I just want to point out, so you've got Adam Page and Ethan Page, who are not related, but are part of this roster. Now you've got Christian Cage and Brian Cage, who are also not related, are part of this roster.
Yeah, there's too many people with the same surnames.
All right.
And I'm pretty sure there's someone else.
We just need to get all the Storms together. Tony Storm, Lance Storm, James Storm, Devon Storm.
Yeah.
What other Storms? Johnny Storm.
Yeah, but I swear it's all called Johnny Storm. Who's a wrestler.
Yeah, the UK wrestler.
Yeah. It's just so confusing. So this match, watch it if you can. It's a cinematic match. It's filmed really well, and I'm sort of on the fence with Darby Allin. Yeah, it's kind of won me over with him, even though it's coming at the expense of Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. But watch it. That's probably the match of the show, I'll say. And then we had the main event. Oh wait, sorry, no. Sting and Darby Allin won, obviously. With Sting giving Ricky Starks the Scorpion Death Drop. Pretty cool. And so we got the main event. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley for the AEW title in a exploding barbed wire death match.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. It was a good match. I didn't have no expectations for this, if I'm honest, because it's got Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. He's gonna be good no matter what, really. Mm-hmm. Lived up to expectations. Pretty violent, pretty bloody. The rules were a bit confusing. So Kenny bleeds, Moxley bleeds. A lot of good ring psychology. Coming to the end of it, there's a really good spot where Kenny Omega hits Mox with the One Wing Angel. It's near the ropes. And how they've rigged this match, when you touch it's three of the ropes. So the ropes, when you're coming in, is not put for the barbed wire or connected to explosives, but the other three are. So if you touch them, they explode.
Right.
So Kenny gives him the One Wing Angel near the ropes, and because Moxley can't kick out, he puts his foot on the rope, so the explosion makes Kenny have to get off him, so he doesn't get the free count.
Okay.
I was like, that's pretty clever. They've protected the One Wing Angel and Moxley in a way.
Yeah. Smart move.
And then after that, the Good Brothers come in and they start trying to beat up Moxley, but he starts hitting him with his barbed wire baseball bat. It looks hilarious. And then Luke Gallows comes with one, but he drops it. So then Kenny picks it up and he hits Moxley with it and it explodes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and they're saying that's a callback to the guy who originated the death match.
Okay.
What's his name? Anyway, that guy. So then that happens. So he's all like he's like basically dead. So Kenny picks him up.
Yeah.
Carl Anderson sets up a chair, and then Kenny One Wing Angels him through the chair. Not onto the chair, but literally through the chair. So the chair like explodes and all that stuff.
Yep.
And then he wins. So they start beating him up again, and then after 30 minutes, the ring's gonna explode. So they're beating him up, and then the timer comes up saying 1 minute. So they all run away.
Yeah.
And then the Butcher, the Blade, and Eddie Kingston come out, and they start fighting with the Good Brothers and Kenny. And then Eddie pushes someone away and gets in a ring to try and get John Moxley out, but he can't because he's been handcuffed and he can't get up. So it's about to explode. So Eddie Kingston shields Mox's body from the quote-unquote explosion.
Yeah.
Which was just basically sparklers and some smoke that came out of the bottom of the ring.
So they there was a little muck up somewhere, right? That's what you're telling me?
Well, that's what everyone outside of like AEW and that thinks. But after the pay-per-view, Tony Khan does like a little press scrum where he talks about the pay-per-view and stuff. And he said, this is why it's funny, that Kenny and Don Callis made the explode, like they rigged everything themselves, and because they're not experts, they probably didn't do it right. That's why there was an explosion.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because earlier this week, Kenny posted his blueprint for the ring and the explosion and stuff, and he drew it in crayon.
Yeah.
It looks like terrible. So I was like, okay, I can buy that it didn't really go off. But what makes it sort of worse is that Eddie Kingston and John Moxley kind of sold that there was an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their line in the ring afterwards, like, they're meant to be dead. So, yeah.
Okay. A way they can save it is that on the next Dynamite, Kenny and Don Callis basically just mock him.
Yeah.
And say, we got you. You thought you were going to all die, blah, blah. But we, and we deliberately made sure that the explosion wasn't wet. But I don't see how they follow up. But if they lean into it, like, we didn't muck up, even though they did. We were like, we didn't muck up. We made you guys think that something was going to happen that didn't happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to see where it goes. It's quite funny. But, yeah, overall, good pay-per-view. Good pay-per-view.
Yep.
Nice one, AEW. Yeah, so
okay, cool.
What's the next subject, homeboy?
So do you watch UFC?
No, but I get told about it by people.
All right, so there was a match for the UFC bantamweight title on the UFC 259, I think.
Yeah.
And Petr Yan, who was the champion, did a Kamigoye.
Oh, was it?
Well, kind of he did, and kind of he did. Okay, here's a little bit of awkward thing. Do you know when in the UFC, if someone's knee on the ground, you can't kick them you can't attack them.
Yeah.
Right. So the dude that was downed, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Right. He was on it. I don't know. He was on the one knee with one. He was on knee, kind of kneeling, and he was shielding his face.
Yeah.
Head. So I don't know if he was there just trying to buy time so he could get up, or because if you can't, if you're not allowed to kick them.
Yeah.
Or whatever, strike them in such a way.
Mm.
So Peter there grabbed the guy's hands that were shielding his face, and he pulled him forward and threw a knee.
Oh,
Kamigoye style, right?
Yeah.
And that guy got rocked with it. Right?
KO.
But then, because that guy's knee was on the ground, it was an illegal knee to the face.
Okay. Yeah.
That guy couldn't continue because that's a knockout knee.
Yeah.
Right? But then, so the guy, he won the title on disqualification.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, just thought I put it out because I saw it. I was like, oh, but when you watch the pro wrestling style double arm grab knee to the face,
yeah,
they do it more dramatically, and they have to lean in a certain direction not to throw their body weight actually, into the knee and force it into some guy's skull, right?
Yeah.
When you see it done properly, it's like, oof, yeah, that's it.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, and then you won't be getting up. You won't. Okay, did you ever see there was a video of pro wrestling maneuvers done in the UFC?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, like some guy managed to Boston Crab another guy, which I was like, well,
yeah, the Boston Crab. When you look at it, sometimes the wrestling, you're like, ugh, it's like a boring move. But
well, the thing is as well, how do you get someone who's uncooperative and rotate them? But I think because this guy was on his back and the other guy was like sprawled on him, I think he just kind of spun around, grabbed his feet, and pulled up rather than the full version of it. I think another guy did the lion tamer, which wrenched the guy up even further. But, lion tamer is not good to
do to anyone.
yeah.
Even in wrestling, it's not good.
You know what? Have you seen the spinning DDTs?
No.
Technically not, right? Technically they aren't, right?
Yeah.
But when someone's against a cage and he's got someone else in a guillotine style move, right? The person in the guillotine will try and lift that person up and then throw them down. But what happens is, obviously, when you lift up and you spin and rotate, it's like a DDT, and depending on how gripped you are in that guillotine, you might come down on your own head.
Wee.
So technically, it's a cooperative tornado DDT,
To an extent, it's cooperative, yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
So, but and I just thought, that's something to point out for you,
Yeah.
Other thing is Black Superman.
Yeah.
Rumors that it's going to be a reboot or side universe or what? It's not going to be a TV show. It's actually going to be a movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
By J.J. Abrams and written by Takashi Coates, the guy who recently wrote Black Panther, the comics, not the film. Yeah.
You go first.
I'm all for it, but the only thing I'm upset about, 'cause I even talked to my dad about this, is what happened to my boy Henry Cavill. Like, he didn't say he doesn't want to be Superman anymore, unless they're gonna do. Yeah, he's still Superman in the main universe, but this is a side thing, and then we're gonna make everyone confused because there's two Supermen at once. Actually, three.
I feel that here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If the cinematic Superman was at his peak level of popularity, we wouldn't do a TV series of Superman.
Yeah.
Right. But because of how well it is not doing to a certain degree, they're like, well, you know what, we'll hedge our bets on something else. And I think the TV series Superman is more how the traditional perception of the character is. Yeah, whereas the dark, gloomy Superman, people is not receptive to because that's not his character.
But so
I can see why.
Yeah.
Not saying that Henry Cavill is the bad Superman, but the material is not in line with people's expectations. Right?
Yeah.
Not going into whether you or I like it.
Yeah, no.
Non-biased view here.
No.
So yeah, I don't think it's an awkward one. Yeah. Just to have a cameo in other people's movies. So I think which was one of the initial ideas.
Yeah.
And it would be good to have him in it. His appearance, but I think they kind of this iteration of the character of how he's presented is not what people want to see to a degree.
But they can easily sort of rectify that because look at Aquaman.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's not like they haven't gone too far down the rabbit's hole where they can't go back. They can easily sort of change that, but
yeah.
They make decisions.
It's one of those things where if you'd make it like we saw it as compared to Batman vs Superman and Justice League, whatever, 2017, the character switch was unnatural.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he was a bit, I want to say dark and gloomy, but bit grim and gritty, yeah?
Yeah.
Or however you want to put it, right?
Yeah.
In a darker world.
Yeah.
And then he's all bright, like inspiring Superman. It's just like, well, that's a massive switch.
Yeah, there wasn't. It wasn't subtle. It was like no, sorry, it was subtle. It wasn't subtle. It was like 1 minute he's like saying dark and gloomy, and then he's, hey, I'm happy. There's no like transition into it.
I'm like,
yeah.
I think I've had a time to think about it on 6 feet under and go, you know what? Now is the time to kind of like. I'm just saying the transition. Not that I agree or disagree with certain iterations. I'm just saying the transition of how he was to how he was before.
Yeah,
I mean, after was a bit, yeah. I think personally, look, I don't think they're gonna make a. Well, look, they've got a separate universe. They've got 3 Batman going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Affleck, who's going to be in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton also in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, happening at the same time. So I'm not even going to count Warren Christie, who's who's in the Batwoman TV series, but hasn't made an appearance as Batman yet because he's hushed with Batman's Bruce Wayne's face.
Yeah.
I know we're going to count Ian Glenn, who is Bruce Wayne in the Times, but not Batman.
Yeah.
In the costume. Yet.
Yeah.
Oh, not yet, but just didn't. They haven't put him in the costume yet, but he definitely is Batman Bruce Wayne. So I don't see why you can't have another version of Superman. You got, technically speaking, you got Cavill, Brandon Routh, if they ever do anything with him, but he has been Superman.
Yeah.
In the Crisis recently, and Tyler Hoechlin. So, I don't think though this Black Superman is going to be Clark Kent.
No, he won't. It'd be.
It wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Zor-el, if I'm correctly, if that's his name.
No, hold on. You mean val-zod?
Is it val-zod?
Do you mean the F2 Superman, Black Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah, val-zod, right?
You could be right. Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna check that.
No, it's val-zod. It's val-zod. Not Kal-El, F2 Superman. New Superman. F2 from what? When was F2? 2000 and...
we'll say 2012?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, I mean, they could do it like that. They could do it with that guy. Or they could do it with Calvin Ellis. F-23, I believe. President of the United States.
Yeah, I've never understood that, but yeah, they could do. I've never understood that version of it. I'm like, but how can you be Superman and president?
Do they pretend that he's not? Well, okay. Is he known as Superman, as in he's president, but also Superman?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I've never read into it, so that's what always confused me. Like, you can't be president and say, "Oh no, I need to disappear for a minute and then fly across the world." Yeah, I don't know. I need to look into that. And you are right. It's val-zod. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So look. They've got options, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they've got a lot of options.
Yeah, and I never got why they. So when I was reading F2, I wasn't quite sure why they decided to make val-zod. Like, I think it was the son of General Zod in that continuity, but there was a title. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it. You know who Mon-El is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mon-El had his own title when he was doing a solo superhero thing called Valor, right? So why didn't you just make the guy this Black Superman? Why didn't you make him Val-Lor instead of val-zod? I mean, like, you got the title, and then you can make the comic.
Because this world needs Superman. But because in Earth 2, he's technically related to Superman.
No. I mean his alien name, not his superhero name.
Oh, right. Yeah, I get what you mean now. Yeah. Yeah, Valor. Yeah, they should get... Yeah, that is his name, isn't it? Yeah. Or Val-El.
Yeah, well, yeah, something like that. But, I'm just saying... like, you could have nodded to how when Mon-El was a superhero about if you called him Val-Lor,
Yeah.
But yeah. So, what do you think? So, do you think it'll be an alternate continuity, or do you reckon?
I believe so, because last year DC made a big thing about we'll make some films in continuity, but if we come across something that we think is going to be cool, we'll make it. So I was like, okay, fair enough.
I mean, it only makes sense to make it a non-continuity, because how many Kryptonian characters with the same sort of superpowers can you have in a world where they're supposed to be very sparse? I mean, they cast Supergirl in the DC cinematic universe. Yeah. So, what do you think of the casting there? Do you think people will be overall that? No, yeah. But do you think people are going to say, okay, she's meant to be white and blonde?
I say if this was like 5 years ago, people would.
Yeah.
But because, everyone's more... Well, I like to think everyone's more accepting now. You know, be cool with it. Because, you got Barry Allen, who's meant to be a blonde dude, played by two...
Yeah, but he's still white. He's still white.
Well, I don't think Ezra Miller's full white.
Oh, all right. No, I thought you meant.
What, Grant Gustin?
Grant Gustin.
Oh no, I don't mean him. Even though I do like him as Flash, but you know what I mean. It's you just get used to it now. Like Iris West.
You got a Hawaiian Aquaman who's meant to be. So I was like my issue is always not necessarily if you cast the best actor for the role.
Yeah.
Regardless of what they look like.
Yeah.
Like Michael Clark Duncan was the Kingpin.
Yeah.
In the Daredevil 2003 film. Now the film we can talk about the varying quality of it, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great Kingpin because he looked intimidating. He was massive as well, and he was like he looked like I'll grab your head and crush it sort of guy.
Like you, I don't mind if they race swap characters, but there's certain characters who I say you can't race swap.
Yeah.
Like for example, Magneto, you can't race swap him because his whole thing is being Jewish.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I see that, but okay. So Constantine, right, was Keanu Reeves. Now I thought you played Constantine pretty well.
Yeah,
actually,
so did I.
I don't have the story was actually well done, like how they written the character. So his attitude was presented correctly.
Yeah.
But they just swapped out every in the comics. There's all religions equally.
Yeah.
Within the stories, right?
Yeah.
They all exist, except that in the movie they don't. It's just Christians.
Yeah.
Any Christian, It's like yeah.
But I blame that on the time it came out because back then as well, even as soon as about 15 years ago, where it was, if you talked about certain religions, people were getting uproar and stuff. But everyone's sort of like going back to accepting now. You could sort of touch upon those things, like they sort of done in Legends and things like that. You know what I mean? So.
I view it as depending on where the country who's making whatever it is, they'll kind of adjust it to what they think is acceptable for the masses.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying maybe like in one of the comics, I believe, Constantine walks through each religion to get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Somewhere that's part of the story, but here he's just walking through hell or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
None of the other religious versions of hell exist, apparently, except for Christian ones. All right, and I guess that's the way we're playing it,
Yeah.
Kind of a nod to all these other religions don't exist, apparently.
Yeah.
But then again, that to be fair didn't have any place within the story they were telling.
Yeah.
It's not as if, for example, one of the characters was a Buddhist.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but how likely? Yeah, it's just it'd be nice to have a nod if they do these things to certain other things other than predominantly Christian, because that's what the Americans are.
Yeah, exactly. More inclusivity. That's what we need. Yeah. But yeah, I'm cool with Hispanic Supergirl. She could be related to Clark Kent. Makes no difference, So.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Do they play it that she's half? I want to say white, but you know what I mean. Henry Cavill is white, regardless of him being Kryptonian, whatever, right?
Yeah, he's a white Kryptonian. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Are they going to say that this Supergirl is half, mother or whoever was white to be related to still be the cousin of Kal-El?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, Even though the actress is she fully Hispanic?
I'm pretty sure she's fully Hispanic, but this is films. So
we're talking about our boy Kyo Kasugi, who's a fully white boy, Sean Faris, yet somehow half Japanese. So
yeah, exactly. Whatever. So
yeah,
we've come a long way since then. So.
Hey, back in the Kung Fu days when David Carradine just put a little bit of eyeliner at the edge of his eye, all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah, God, that flew again. It's funny how that was acceptable.
I don't think he was meant to be playing a full Chinese or Asian or whatever. I think it was just to pretend that he was.
Yeah.
To signify he was in an Asian area of training. I don't know why they decided to do that, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, whatever, innit? He's dead now, so hey.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
But you know, that's a bit morbid. Well, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Okay. So, I've got something, but it might not necessarily take a bit, but it could probably be our closing subject. Anything else you want to talk about for the week?
No, there's nothing else really that's happened this week. As of recording this, episode 2 of Superman is out. Superman and Lois, check it out. A little plug. And Arrow and Flash has started back. Yeah, so I've watched them. They're good. Go on.
Okay. I guess then we should close on with the Zack Snyder's Justice League, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so many rumors about this film, right?
Yes, many.
As to what is supposed to happen within the context of the actual films or not, right?
Yeah.
But I will give you what I read, a quick lowdown of the full 5-movie story arc of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously starts with Man of Steel, which we've seen, so we won't go through that.
No.
Aside from the relevance of the Kryptonian Matrix, which has everyone's DNA or whatever, you know?
The Codex.
Yeah, the Codex, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Batman vs. Superman, which was what it is, but I'm just saying there's no major changes to, I think, the idea of the 5-movie story arc.
No.
Okay. Then it would be the Justice League film.
Yeah. Well, the Snyder version.
Yeah. So, just a quick lowdown here. Steppenwolf obviously is going to be the villain. He tries to get the mother boxes. Superman's dead, so they're like, no protectors, no Green Lanterns, no Kryptonians. It's time for me to take over the Earth or whatever, however he wants to do, right?
Yep.
Then the rest of the Justice League try to fight him, get whooped. They're like, okay, let's resurrect Superman as kind of as the Justice League 2007 movie ish.
Yeah, 17.
They resurrect Superman. They chop off Steppenwolf's head. Zack Snyder, of course, you know what I mean, like murder and. To be fair, Wonder Woman's a warrior, so
yeah, she kills.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I like the modern incarnation.
Yeah,
is a warrior, so.
Yeah.
I find it kind of acceptable, but depending on how it was done, it depends on how gratuitous it would go.
Yeah.
Because you can do it PG style.
Yeah, you can do it straight up, like slice head, drink the blood from the head stuff.
Depending on, I mean, the way I see Zack Snyder sometimes goes a bit too far, trying to make these things a bit more R-rated, a harder cut, but it's just like, anyways, Steppenwolf's heads roll through a boom tube,
as you do,
and Darkseid's on the other side, staring at the Justice League, right? And then at the end of that film, 2 Green Lanterns will appear to Bruce Wayne, telling him about the coming war, right? I think it was meant to be Kilowog and no. Either Salak or Tomar Ray, I believe.
Okay.
The fish one and the guy with 6 arms, yeah? But Kilowog was meant to be one of them. Anyways, then Batman decides to... Justice League Part 2, okay? Yeah. Batman decides to take the fight to Apocalypse, so they go after to fight Darkseid to fight him, like with the Green Lanterns and the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
Right. Superman finds out Lois is pregnant with with Superman's child. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
But they're like, no, but Batman's like, no, come with us. We need to face down this massive threat.
Yeah.
Lois, you can stay in the penthouse with Alfred. Right. You be safe here because we're going up there to fight.
Okay.
Except I believe Darkseid booms to Earth and to try and fight them, but they've gone up there, so he goes just wipes out, Lois Lane.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then obviously that causes Superman to have a bit of a breakdown, and they use the Codex DNA thing that was part of Man of Steel.
Yeah,
they use that to engineer the anti-life equation.
Okay.
Yeah, as you do, right?
So
then Superman submits to it because Lois is now dead.
Yeah, he's nothing to live for, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Kills Darkseid that starts taking over, and then we get the Nightmare world.
Okay.
And then you go to Justice League Part 3, where Superman's a dictator. And then there's more about how they have to create the Justice League, the rest of them. In the Nightmare world, have to create the cosmic treadmill for the Flash to come back, which is what we get back with Superman to tell it the warning. And then what they do, Flash gets the warning to the Justice League in the past.
Yeah.
So then they basically set their forces on Earth and not go off to Apocalypse. And then they fight Justice League. They fight Darkseid.
Yeah.
Justice League with all the other armies behind them. Big endgame style fight, probably, right?
Yeah.
Because you got Mankind, Atlantis, New Gods, and the Green Lanterns, and then Anyways, they have the big massive fight. I believe here, Lois Lane gives birth to Superman's son during the big battle in the Batcave. So then Darkseid's weakened. Superman's also weakened after this fight. Darkseid was like, you know what? I'm gonna boom to the Batcave to go and they harvest the Codex / life equation from the baby, right?
Okay.
Somehow, because it's got human and DNA mix, so it's gonna make a new anti-life equation. Because if you can't get it from Superman, probably get it from someone who's more vulnerable, so to speak. Because the baby, first of all, is a baby, he hasn't developed any powers yet. Secondly, who's there to protect it? Well, Batman is there to protect it. Jumps in the way, dies, but he fires the anti-God gun and kills Darkseid.
Oh,
yeah. And then they mourn Batman's death and name their child Jonathan Bruce Kent. That's a quick run through of the idea of the Justice League. And now Zack's one of what I've read is part of the plan. Let's say at least it does make sense of why the Codex Matrix thing from Man of Steel was
introduced. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah. And it does make sense to tie in the anti-life equation as part of that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it that way.
Like, this sounds like if you did this like Infinity War and that, like, I would say 20 films in deep, then this sort of would work. But you're trying to jump to that from the go. It seems too epic for something that's not been out for long.
Yeah, the length of the film to introduce all these things is either going to be really long, or the other way you're going to go about it is basically say, we're just going to skirt certain things without not introducing them properly, but they don't necessarily need an explanation, and then we can move quicker. Because you're going to have to stop at some point to say, this is this, this is that, and you got all new characters coming in with explaining other things that you know is going to be not a bit of a slog, but you're here to watch action. Technically, you know. Yeah. I'm also sure that you've read other bits about how in one of the drafts of Batman vs Superman, Martha Kent is Martha Wayne. They are the same person. So Martha Wayne survived getting shot, and then she got put into witness protection. Yeah. And I think in Zack Snyder's mind, he was like, well, that makes sense of why they would have the same first name, right? But when you think about it logically, you'd be like, if you go to witness protection, you're probably going to change your full name.
Exactly, not just your surname.
And I'm pretty sure that gunshot where the guy was having a gun that, like, he hooked the pearls around her necklace and his gun was pointing up. That gun went off on her face.
Yeah.
She's not surviving that.
No.
But I think they removed it from the draft. But
So then
it's kind of like very, very awkward.
So then Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent would technically be brothers. Not blood brothers, but you know what I mean by
adopted brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know what the logic. Look, I don't. yes. But then here's the thing. I suppose in their world it kind of works because if Bruce is 8 or whatever, we can just he's X amount of years older than Clark.
Yeah.
Before he got adopted, so kind of I don't think it would have made a good story, but if you go by the logic of the timeline, it can actually work.
Could it though?
No, as in age-wise. Not saying the story could work. I'm saying.
No. I'm thinking about age-wise. Would it work? Because isn't like Bruce Wayne? I'm just guessing here. In this universe, is like a good 15 years older than Superman, right?
Wait. No, okay. Let's say. Okay, we're going to part of speculation here, but let's just so we know Man of Steel, Clark is 33 at that point, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say by Batman vs Superman, which is 18 months later, he's probably 35 at maximum, right?
Okay, yeah, we'll say that, yeah.
And we could have Bruce being 43, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how old he would have been when his parents got killed, about 8 years old, right?
Yeah.
So it can.
But then, well, no, I'm going off comic logic because I remember correctly. This is what I'm thinking wrong. Sorry, like in the comics, I know Martha and Jonathan Kent are quite oldish when they find Clark. But
okay, no. Hold on. I'm thinking of the ages will work, but then we've got to get into the whole Martha and Jonathan have also got to get together.
Yeah.
And then find out that she can't get, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But if she's been put in witness protection and she has a fake husband, they can forego with that.
But why would she have a fake husband? I mean, it's a
no, that's witness protection for you, isn't it?
Yeah, but they wouldn't give you a fake husband. They would just like put you on your own or whatever. But then,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not.
Oh wait.
Decipher. I'm not trying to decipher Zack Snyder logic here. I'm just saying.
No, I see what he's trying to do. Then, if you think about it, that means Jonathan Kent wasn't really a farmer. He's a secret agent looking after Martha Wayne. I mean, Martha Wayne / Kent.
That's probably why they decided, you know what, it's going to get too mucky when we have to cover all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So they just thought, cut it. But then again, as we're going to get to another bit of information, that whatever the hell they were going to do.
Yeah.
In one of the parts of the Justice League after Superman is dead, Bruce Wayne and Lois hook up.
Yeah.
You read about that?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to give a quick?
Yeah.
What did you read? And then
I just saw a headline. And I sort of like read it a bit that they get together and they have a son who goes on to become the next Batman in the future.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
In the movie, he will become the next Batman. Yeah.
Yeah. But
not necessarily at the end of the movie, but in the Nightmare timeline probably or something. Whatever,
something like
right?
that.
We don't know exactly, but it's just.
But then,
I mean, this is what they decided to cut out, so we're just kind of speculating on our part.
But maybe that would make sense why, in that nightmare future, Superman hated Batman because he got his girlfriend pregnant, and he's like, oh wow, We're enemies for life.
The logic I was reading was what they kind of wanted to do was have it where do they like Bruce is conflicted about bringing Superman back?
Yeah.
Because now he's got a life with Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And a child coming on, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, but then Bruce, you're put in a situation where you're putting your life or your future, whatever, right?
Yeah.
In front of everyone of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, right, if I don't bring Superman, I can have my
happy ending.
Yeah. But if that means condemning billions of people to be.
Yeah, and everyone knows that's not how that's not how Bruce Wayne rolls, you know.
Yeah, in the comics, but we're talking about the Zack Snyder universe. So
but even sort of in the Zack Snyder universe, until that point, they sort of put him that way, like.
Yeah.
Everyone.
But the other thing is, like, Lois is with Clark, so why would she get with Bruce?
Yeah.
They've got no. I mean, yeah, you could say the years in a nightmare world, whatever, right? Fair enough, maybe, but. Yeah.
No.
It's just like, why? Maybe I don't know. It just seemed like they did it for the sake of having drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, even in that world, you can see more of like, say, Wonder Woman getting with Batman. I mean, they have more of a sort of a connection than Batman and Lois Lane.
But, if we're talking about the Zack Snyder universe,
yeah.
Well, here, look, it's one of those things. I don't know how they would do it, but they might just skip into the future and then say, because let's face it, Days of Future Past, right?
Mm.
And Storm and Wolverine get together, and they were just together naturally, as in they step off the X jet or whatever, and it's like no explanation needed. But then again, when you look at the rest of the movies, not saying you can see their relation develop, but it's just like, well, kind of like is a bit logical.
Yeah, it makes more sense
from their interactions previously. You can't get to this point.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like okay, so Lois is gonna get with Batman. So Batman is like, not only did I beat up your Man of Steel here, I want to hook up with your woman as well.
Yeah, it's yes, I'm glad they got rid of that idea, because this sort of reminds me of the whole Black Widow Hulk relationship, which made no sense.
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron, it just came out of nowhere. You're like, oh, okay. I guess this is it. Cool.
Oh, well, okay. So that situation to me was like, not to back it up, but it was more of a pair the spares situation with like these people. They're on the team, but they've got no other love interests.
Yeah.
And instead of fabricating ones out of nowhere, might as well just put them together and save ourselves a bit of time.
Yeah. It's like, boom, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you're right. It was odd. It was kind of. I mean. Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad that most of this is not going to happen, and I am excited to see the 4-part Snyder Cut when they.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of material
they keep.
He has in that. I mean, look, this is why I say is essentially when you look at it this way, and you have to look at it without taking sides here.
Yeah.
Right. A movie that's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Going in the cinema. What studio? Because they're looking out for profit.
Yeah.
Right, as in, the more times they replays in the cinema,
the more money they make.
The more things the more amount of times you can fit in within a day, the more money you're gonna make.
Yeah.
That's the pure logic. That's the cold-hearted logic of it.
Yeah.
This film, how many times can you play within like a day? Plus, you got trailers, adverts, clean up, and everything like that.
Yeah, 5 hours there.
Yeah,
when you think about it.
Yeah. So how much the amount of money that you're going to be making back off it? I can see why they would say trim it down. But at the same time, they signed off.
Yeah, on all this.
On the script of it, previous to the point it got to this far. You know, when you start in that production area, you'd be like, all right, so read, and they say generally speaking, but it's not a hard and fast rule. 1 page of script is roughly a minute of screen time.
Yeah.
So when you get this pamphlet that's like 300 and something pages.
Yeah.
Oh no, 240 pages or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Be like, well, it's probably double the amount that I'm expecting. Let's start trimming and get to round about the time frame that we like, the page numbers that we're needing. If they didn't do that, that's kind of their fault.
Yeah.
If it was pitched like that, and then Zack Snyder started filming extra scenes behind their back,
yeah,
to pad out runtime, well, to tell the story he wanted to tell, that's kind of on his. Yeah. But the truth probably is somewhere in the middle, as it usually is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my logic of it. Is
there is no logic. No, I'm joking. No, I get what you mean.
4-hour film. Usually, you can probably break that if you stuff in like a trailer. Let's say the credits, right?
Yeah.
God. And you're gonna have to double up. If you split it in half, add the credits on one end and the new intro to the other one. So you've got 2 hours of 2 hour and 10-15 minute films, right?
Yeah.
Something like that,
yeah. Yeah.
So if there was a logical middle point where you could cut it,
yeah.
As in, for example, if the battle with Superman ends the first part of the Justice League,
yeah,
and then the rest of the movie happens afterwards, because then you have your big battle, and then it's like Superman's gone wild or whatever.
Yeah,
we've still got to face the separable threat. What are we going to do? You can have cliffhanger.
Yeah,
but that's they're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, like realistically speaking, Batman vs Superman Ultimate Cut, could have been. Logically, with the time frame, you could have tried splitting that in two, but all the action scenes were smashed towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, literally.
And there was no logical point to break it.
No.
So they might have been the same trouble here.
Yeah, that's what, from like all this. That's what it seems like. It's like where do we stop?
Yeah, where's the action beats? Where's the? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Obviously, we can't criticize it until after we see it, but I'm just saying you probably studio would have probably had a bit of less of a backlash if it fit within the time frames that they were after. And if everyone points out, okay, Avengers Endgame is 3.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
But let's put it this way: you will sit through that because you have all the background of all the 10 previous films.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the conclusive end of that particular saga, where some of these characters aren't going to make it towards the end.
Yeah.
This Zack Snyder 4-Hour Justice League is part 3 of a film series that is had mixed reviews.
Yeah.
So logically, how many people? I mean, you're not gonna get a super mass audience.
No.
In-game style, $2 billion. They're gonna sit down and watch this thing.
No.
Simply because it hasn't got I don't want to say necessarily the fan base.
It hasn't built relations with people.
Yeah, that's what I'm going after. So I can see why a studio would say this might not be a good move right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to rush something that we should have done many years ago into a short amount of time. Yeah. But,
yeah.
Well.
Look, it might have ended up like the entire Zack Snyder trilogy, quadrilogy might have ended up interesting. But I don't think they could have had any they wanted their Wonder Woman and Aquaman spin-offs and stuff like that, and the Flash to fit within this story that seems to be within itself.
Yeah,
it's concerned about itself and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't have anything spawned from it because them going back to the past.
Yeah.
To readjust certain things that then certain timelines never happened is a bit of a. Mucky, because then how can you say which movies that were happening at the same time as this are in continuity or not?
Yeah, they would just hurt themselves. Yeah.
To be fair, though, if he pitched this to them and they said, and the studio said, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. We should go for it," then it's kind of partially on them as well.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, like, I'm not a Zack Snyder defender, but sometimes I am, just for logic reasons. Like, I reckon this is what happened. I always say this. He had a certain vision, which wasn't this, but the studio saw how well Marvel were doing. Like, hey, we need you to do this, this, and this. So he's like, okay, I guess. And then this is where this... well, what's a nice way of saying it? This creative genius, quote unquote, came about because he got sort of pressured into it, if you know what I mean. Like, that's why I've always defended him. I've always said he probably had like a direct vision what he wanted to do. Studio's like, no. Then he makes something so outrageous.
Yeah.
And no one reeled him in until the end.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, actually, like, I mean, this is like, okay. So this is similar to when I'm working, like when I've had to put a magazine together, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then, so you put all the articles and the pictures and everything together. You've like, okay, I've taken up all the space that's necessary and needs. Everything's fitting. Then someone comes along, like an editor, and says, "Oh, we're gonna add a fresh new thing here." Like, right, but there's no space for it. Make space. Like, well, why didn't you just tell me at the beginning that you wanted this, and then we could have coordinated everything around it. Like, I would have had everything I need, and I would have adjusted everything to fit in those particular positions. You don't want to do it adjusting after the process, which is like, you know, when you get the theatrical cut, for example, of Batman vs Superman, where it's like it's not his true vision and he had extra material.
Yeah.
So some bits didn't make as much sense they should have.
Yeah.
Right? But I haven't seen the Ultimate Cut, so I can't. I'm just saying comparatively.
Yeah.
When you edit something after it's been put together to take out certain plot points.
Yeah.
Other things kind
suffer.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though that's not to say, for example, if the story was good to begin with.
Why I need to cut it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's that's I would say that's that for this current episode of Entertainment Roundup.
Yeah.
I am the beholder of the anti-life equation, CY Chung.
And I am the bringer of peace, Carl Charles.
Right.
I don't know why I said that one.
Okay. And that's us signing off for today.
And let us know if you found any of this interesting. Like, you know, what's your thoughts on this whole Snyder stuff?
Or leg slaps. I mean, thigh slaps.
Leg slaps, thigh slaps. The
Revolution.
exploding ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let us know, and we'll catch you.
Oh, and also winning titles by disqualification.
Yeah, which is also the best. All right. Thank you all for listening, and thanks for taking a trip around the multiverse with us. Bye.
Bye.